Hello students, today we are going to learn heavy water. See, the last class I taught temporary hardness of water, how to remove the hard water ions from the temporary hardness water. But in the online class I taught that permanent hardness of water also I taught. If you have any doubt you can ask, right? Then today we are going to learn about heavy water. What is heavy water? Heavy water means deuterium oxide. D2O only called heavy water. See, normal water we have H2O, right? So in the hydrogen, the displaced by deuterium, because deuterium also one of the isotope of hydrogen. So the place of hydrogen is that deuterium. D means we can say that is heavy water, right? So the heavy water, as you know very well, if you take normal water 5000 part, we can have 1 part of heavy water. So normal water, if you have 5000, you can get 1 deuterium oxide, that is a heavy water. But how will you get one heavy water from 5000 water? So we can do the electrolysis process. What process? Electrolysis. Electrolysis means what? We will fix the container with the two anode cathode. We will pour the solution and passing current. We will get some chemical reaction, that is called electrolysis, right? Already we have discussed in the previous video also what is electrolysis, right? Yes. So by the electrolysis process we can separate the heavy water. How? See, if you compare the ionization of normal water and heavy water, normal water will ionize easily than heavy water. So that's why if you hydrolysis mixture of heavy water and normal water, first all the normal water will ionize, remaining we will get the deuterium oxide heavy water, right? The physical properties are also similar with the water. There is no smell, no color, no odor, and also tasteless liquid, right? Then some properties are different from the water. Now we are going to learn about chemical properties of heavy water. So first, that deuterium from the heavy water is ionized and displays the hydrogen in the other compound. That means the hydrogen present in any compound means that we can replace by this deuterium. See, we can take sodium hydroxide with heavy water. What will happen? This hydrogen is replaced by one of the deuterium. So NaOD will form plus HOD. One of the deuterium also replaced with the hydrogen. Next we can take hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is also having one hydrogen. That hydrogen may be replaced by deuterium. So the product is DCl plus HOD. Then we can take ammonium chloride. We have 4 hydrogen, but only one hydrogen may be displaced by deuterium. So NH3, instead of another hydrogen, we can write D. Then Cl plus HOD. So what is the use of these reactions? What is the uses of these reactions? See, we can find how many hydrogens are exchangeable, right? So the first one, we can remove one hydrogen. Here also one ionizable hydrogen. So we can find number of ionizable hydrogens, right? The same way with hypophosphorus acid, H3PO2 with deuterium oxide. What happened? It can replace only one hydrogen. So H2EPO2 plus HOD. So from that we can come to know this hypophosphorus acid is a monobasic acid. Monobasic means it will give only one H plus ion. The same way the deuterium react with other compound gives different compound. We can prepare different compounds. First one is carbides like aluminum carbide. react with heavy water. How many water you want to take? 4 into 3, 12. For example, I am saying for remembering, we can have like this 4 into 3 not 12. So 12 heavy water you want to take. Then what are the products? For aluminum oxide, not aluminum oxide, aluminum deuteroxide with liberation of CD4. Next, calcium carbide. So calcium carbide also 2C. So 2 heavy water you want to take. Then calcium deuteroxide will form. Then C2D2 will form like ethylene. Next we can take magnesium nitride. Magnesium nitride. So 2 into 3, 6 water, heavy water you want to take. So Mg OD twice. How many Mg is there? 3. Then we will get 2ND3 like ammonia product. NH3 means ammonia, ND3 like ammonia product. At last calcium phosphide. So we will get calcium deuteroxide, then PD3. So likewise we can get the new compound by using the heavy water. Then uses of heavy water. There are 3 uses of heavy water. 2 uses belongs to nuclear reactor. So in the nuclear reactor, heavy water used as a moderator. What do you mean moderator? It can reduce the energy of neutrons. Actually, neutrons only used in the nuclear power generators. Okay, in the nuclear reactor, neutron energy can be reduced by using heavy water. It is used as a moderator. And also, we can absorb heat from the nuclear reactor. So, for absorbing heat in the nuclear reactor. The last one, we can find the mechanism of chemical reaction. Chemical reaction mechanism we can write. We can learn by using heavy water. Then we are going to learn about hydrogen peroxide. So another similar product, hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. It is one of the important peroxide compared with the other peroxides, right? So we can prepare this hydrogen peroxide by treating dilute acid with the other peroxides like barium peroxide, sodium peroxide with dilute sulfuric acid. So barium sulfate will form. Simply we can remove H2O2, that is nothing but hydrogen peroxide. Barium sulfate plus H2O2. Then sodium oxide also giving same like reaction. We can remove the H2O2. So it will give sodium sulfate plus H2O2. So this is simplest industrial process. Okay. Another important industrial preparation of hydrogen peroxide by using N-alkyl anthraquinone. So what is N-alkyl anthraquinone? Hydrogen peroxide we can prepare. See, this like one structure is called benzene. If continuously 3 structures are coming means we can say that is a anthracene. The anthracene, if we have 2 oxygen in the middle benzene, that is anthraquinone. Which having any substitution like ethyl, we can say ethyl anthraquinone. Ethyl anthraquinone is treated with H plus with catalyst like platinum, nickel, any one catalyst. So what will happen? this oxygen may combine with that, it will form alcohol product. So what is another one? Next to this product, will get we will get alcohol product. Then if you oxidize this product, we will get our expected product and also reactant. See, one hydrogen, second hydrogen with this oxygen, we will get one of the product, our expected product, hydrogen peroxide, and also the remaining will get as a reactant. Okay, so in this process we can prepare hydrogen peroxide. In industry they are preparing this way. Then properties, physical properties, right? So pure hydrogen peroxide almost colorless, right? So hydrogen peroxide also colorless liquid, but which having some light blue color, pale blue color, and also which having less volatile, easily we cannot evaporate, but which having high viscous like oil. Oil will have the viscous nature, you know. The same way hydrogen peroxide having some viscous nature. Then the 30% solution of H2O2 is called 100 volume. Why this is called like that means, if you take 1 ml of the solution on heating, it will give 100 ml of oxygen. Because of this nature, we can call it 100 volume, right? Then chemical properties. What are the chemical properties of hydrogen peroxide? See, usually hydrogen peroxide is an unstable compound. In normal condition itself, it will undergo disproportionation reaction. What do you mean disproportionation reaction means? It will undergo on division. It will automatically decompose into smaller compound. So like this, the hydrogen peroxide H2O2 ordinary condition decomposed into water and half O2. So this reaction normally slow reaction, but if you use any catalyst if you use, what will happen? It becoming explosive, right? And also you should not carry with a glass container, because glass container may made up of some metal. That metal may act as a catalyst for this reaction, then this reaction becoming explosive. That's why we are carrying with or storing with plastic bottles. We should not store with glass bottles, we should store with plastic bottles. Okay, next the hydrogen peroxide act as a both oxidizing agent and a reducing agent. What do you mean oxidizing agent? It will help for a oxidation. Reducing agent means it will help for a reduction. So it is acting as an oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. Examples we will see now. With ferrous sulfate, H2SO4 acidic medium. In the acidic medium, which is acting as oxidizing agent, basic medium, it will act as a reducing agent. So acidic medium, that's why acidic we have added. Then H2O2. What will happen? It will form, we have to take 2 times, so Fe2SO4 thrice. So ferrous is reduced into, oxidized into ferrate. The remaining we will get H2O. So 2H2O we will get, right? Then the same way it can act as a reducing agent with the potassium permanganate. KMnO4 treated with the H2O2. It will give MnO2 plus KOH plus H2O plus O2. In this reaction, Mn charge plus 7 plus 4, it is reduced. So we can say this is a reducing agent. Then we can learn about uses of hydrogen peroxide. How wherever we are using the hydrogen peroxide. See, hydrogen peroxide which is not producing any harmful substance on oxidation. That's why we can get easily water as well as oxygen is decomposed reaction. We can remember it will decompose into water and oxygen, which is not giving any harmful things. Because of that, we can use in that day-to-day life things like oxidizing pollutant, water treatment. If you want to purify the water, we can use. Then we can use in antiseptic and also bleaching in textile. In the textile industry, we can bleach the clothes. For that, we can use. And also in the industry, we can use hair care. We will say hair care dyes or some other liquids gel we are using in that also we can use. Then one important property of that hydrogen peroxide is we can use it to bleach or recolor the old paintings. See, the old painting may darken color. Long ago it may be painted. If after some years we can see it is not in the bright color because the painting white color is treated with the air containing H2S, hydrogen sulfide. Because of this hydrogen sulfide, it is treated with the painting, it will produce lead sulfide. So lead sulfide only makes the painting into black color. So we can remove the lead sulfide from the old painting by treating with the hydrogen peroxide. So what will happen? It will produce lead sulfate. We can remove the lead sulfate. So remaining will get water. Okay, sorry, 4 water molecules, right? So this is the way we can restore the original color of old paintings, right? By using hydrogen peroxide. Why it is in black color? Because of formation of lead sulfate. How it is formed? Air having hydrogen sulfide, it is reacting with that white paint. Now we are going to learn about structure of a hydrogen peroxide, right? So hydrogen peroxide having open book structure, which is not a linear structure, which is non-polar structure. For example, linear structure, not linear structure means 2 hydrogen, 2 oxygen. Hydrogen peroxide only having like this structure. In that the oxygen having the lone pair electron. Because of this lone pair electron repulsion, which is having like this open book structure, is having another name skew form. Skew form means which is not directly hiding. So the hydrogen, this hydrogen, if you see in the same, the back side oxygen and front side oxygen not in the same plane, right? So that is only called skew form, right? Otherwise I will bring some model, then only you can understand skew form. Skew form, if you see through this oxygen, you cannot see this oxygen, but you can see this hydrogen. That only called skew form. And also because of this repulsion of a lone pair electron, it's having some angles also, right? So in solid state, if you take gaseous state, first gaseous state which is having 94.8 angle, then this angle becoming 115.5 degree. If you take for a solid hydrogen peroxide, it is increased into 105, then it is reduced into 2 degree. So why this changes in the angle? In the gaseous state means it's having some repulsion, in the solid state having some other angle, because hydrogen bond, because of this hydrogen bond, the bond angle difference happens, right? It is also non-polar structure. Non-polar means which is not having any positive or negative charge, okay? They are having equal neutral charge. That's why we are saying non-polar structure. At last we are going to learn about hydrides. Okay, so the hydrides we will see in the next video. Thank you.